would say my tip, and this applies to me first. All those things that you ever wanted as a kid, growing up, you can get all of that and more if you're just willing to wait and do it the right way. I would say really value ownership over reputation and status early on. Save to pay cash if you can. Especially, I mean, not even if you can, save to pay cash, period. All those luxury things that you think is going to just boost your status. There's not really a reason to hurt yourself in the long game just to satisfy some short-term needs or short-term status quos of other people your age.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Armand Lindsay back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Man, this is gonna be a great episode. I got a recommended guest. I sat down with Rod probably like, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. It's been a minute since I sat down with Rod, but Rod recommended a strong guest, attorney Gallman, man. And I'm super excited to sit down with him and really just pick his brain, see what he's up to, see how his career has been going, and just hopefully, you guys can listen on the podcast and just listen to this, this guy, this brother drop gems and just, his experiences that he's been through so far, and I think it's going to be beneficial. I've never had this type of career path on the show, so I think it's going to be a different perspective for people to see, and hopefully we can drop some gems to be able to help people in the long run as well too. So attorney, man, say what's up to the podcast, bro.
Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good?
Yeah. My man is clean now. You just came out of happy hour, got the button down. We're going to have a good time. Great vibes, all right? Great vibes. So let me tell y'all a little bit about attorney, man. He's 24. He's a financial advisor, equitable advisor. He has his degree in accounting. He went to the Citadel. He's less than a year in his profession. So he's fairly, new in the profession. But as far as, schooling and everything, he done the work. You know what I'm saying? Now he's in the field building his own name, building his own reputation, and just trying to, be a shark amongst meadows, in this field, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of different type of financial advisors, and it seems sometimes it can be hard to separate yourselves and let people know how you differentiate from people that's been in the game for a very long time. So glad to have you. But man, attorney, man, it wouldn't be Big Boss Talk if we didn't do two truths and a lie, man. That's our icebreaker. So I can't wait to hear what you got for me. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this lie if I can. But I don't know, attorney, so he might mess me up. So let me hear what you got, bro.
Man, I appreciate you having me on here, and it's my goal to get you tripped up on this.
Okay.
So without further ado, I have my favorite book being The Total Money Makeover.
Okay.
My favorite drink is water, and I have visited 3 countries.
Bro, that's crazy. Okay, so the book, you look like you advisor, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be your favorite book, but I know you in the books, you know what I'm saying? Then he said water. Y'all see this man's skin. This man got clean skin. And he over there drinking water right now. Come on. Y'all crazy. So look, that's a true. Come on, man. My man got the water on deck. The last one, he said, what was the last one again?
Visited 3 countries.
Visited 3 countries. 3 countries.
Outside of the United States, of course.
Outside of the United States. Got you. Dang, that's going to trip me up, man. I don't want to say it's always the differentiate in numbers. All right, so look, I'm going to say the last one is the lie. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because it may not be 3. It could be 2, could be 4, 5. I just don't think it's 3. I think that's your favorite book. How do you bring that book up without, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't my favorite, I ain't gonna remember it. And you remember the book. And so I think it's your favorite. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. So I'm gonna say the last one is the lie.
Being the countries?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, and I should have put that one second. Dang. And then I had the water that told on myself too, but I'm a little congested, and the water is what I really need. So yeah, I gave you a cop out. I gave you two easy cop outs with being the last and drinking some water. So
you did. Listen, we gonna take them. We take all of them. We gonna, you know what I'm saying. We gonna get the job done. But I'm glad I could able get that live. But talk to me about your favorite book, man. Why is that book your favorite? If you can get the title one more time and just why is that your favorite book?
Yeah. So to date, it's called The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Mm-hmm. And I would say that's my favorite book I've read so far. Mind you, I'm in the middle of some pretty good ones that might take it, but it's my favorite to date because it quite honestly changed my life. It changed the way I thought about personal finance, and quite honestly led me to the path that I found that got me to being an advisor and taking an interest in other people's finances.
Wow. So the book kind of led you into the path of what you're doing now. So that's a pretty impactful book, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to change your perspective and change, kind of mold the lane in which you want to go into. Okay. And then you said, obviously, water's your favorite, drink. Man, you got to drink water. I got to do better, man. I got to get on my water.
You got to have it.
Yeah, got to have it. And then the countries, it's not 3. I'm pretty sure you probably traveled outside the country, but how many places have you been outside the country?
I've been to 2 different countries. I've been to Ghana, West Africa,
okay,
and Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
So, wow, how was Abu Dhabi?
It was a really good time. I actually spent about 3.5-4 weeks there when my mom was working overseas for a little bit right after the recession, or kind of towards the end of the recession. So that was a really, really good experience.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't wait to go. I'm trying to go. They say it's fire, like as far as like just the views, just everything, like it's just so nice. And so I can't wait to get out there.
The things that are said about Abu Dhabi and Dubai honestly sound fake until you go see it for yourself.
That's wild. Okay, cool. So that's what's up, man. Well, appreciate that, man. I'm glad we could able to do the 2 truths and a lie, get people, let them know a little bit about you. But I'm gonna jump right into it, man. One of my favorite questions that I like to ask because it's common, right? When I was sitting down thinking about how I wanted to transition the podcast, right? I know I started with it was just me talking on the podcast because I had wanted to say some stuff and just I felt like it should have been said, and just really putting it was tailored towards young Black African American males, and just letting them know, like, hey, you don't have to fall for the trap. You can be the person that you want to be and still, you know what I'm saying, and have morals, stand for something. Not necessarily, you don't have to be lame. You can be a popular guy, but have your head on straight. You see what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how it started. But then I wanted to transition as far as like, but then how do I bring options or solutions to people, right? To give them an idea of what they want to do. So it was more or less like I need to start talking to people that are not famous, not LeBron or Jay-Z. I want to talk to people that's common people, above average, obtainable, right? And so it's just like I felt like that was what was needed, so people could see like I can attain that, and then they can reroute their decisions and what they're doing. And so, how did you get into what did you want to be growing up? Just give me that. Like, did you want to be a financial advisor? Did you have other ideas? Like, what did you want to be growing up?
So I would say simply, I had no idea. My dreams of becoming an NFL football player died early. Even though I did go and play college football and earn a scholarship, even then still in college, I thought I wanted to be an electrical engineer, but physics was too scary. So I ran from that. And then I really stumbled upon advising. I never had an entrepreneurial mindset. But I was unhappy in what I got into initially out of college, which was management for a supply chain and distribution company that sold and delivered roofing materials. Gotcha. So I would say I stumbled upon accounting because I knew I had a love for math and numbers. Yeah. And I was like, well, accounting's hard enough to where it covers a lot of material and I can focus in on other skills after that. But accounting will at least open me doors. And that was my thought process with being an electrical engineering major also, even though that's very specific.
Yeah.
I was like, I figure I might as well take something that's challenging enough for me to pass, but not too hard to where it's like very specific. So I would say I found it through basically like being lazy, but at the same time, knowing what my strengths were and what I would eventually want to be good at.
Yeah, that's a big key that I feel like a lot of people sometimes lack. And I think my wife was mentioning earlier. She was like, it's great to see people have a sense of awareness, right? And at an early age, because sometimes, obviously I know a lot of guys that play football and, they got the dream is NFL. But when you break it down, it's very, it's very hard. You have to be of a certain percentage to be able to get into that elite group. And so having that self-awareness early, not saying that you can't enjoy and put your all into football and earn your way, to scholarships and play college ball, but just having that awareness of, okay, what's plan B, right? Because a lot of people just have plan A, but they don't necessarily have a plan B. And so, glad to see that you are aware of your strengths and weaknesses to say, this is what I want to do. Nothing too crazy hard, but nothing too easy either, because I know I can challenge myself. And electrical engineering is I don't know how you thought that was an easy major, but that is not easy at all.
Not at all. Not at all. I wish I could say I found it on my own as far as my dreams weren't going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
But I was going on a lot of recruiting trips early. I started playing varsity as a freshman, which isn't saying a whole lot in today's times. But at the time, for me, it was like, okay, well, I really got a chance to take it seriously. And as recruits started coming around and scouts came around, I was starting to get overlooked. And I'm fortunate, like one of my best friends, we played the same position in high school, and he plays for a professional team now. Mm-hmm. But I just got to see it then that I don't have the physical build to play at that next level and beyond, or really at that Power 5 level, which is, I feel like, probably everybody's dream if you're growing up in the South. Of course. Like, I'm going to go Power 5, SEC. But as soon as I started seeing that I wasn't fitting that build, I was like, all right, well, this is heartbreaking, but I got to start thinking outside the box as to how or what I'm going to do to make money after college. So
what position did you play? And then why did you choose the Citadel? Out of all schools you could have went to.
Yeah, so I was playing defensive end in high school.
Okay.
And I was successful at it. A little bit bigger than most average kids, but smaller than what you see on Saturdays at prime time.
Gotcha.
And what happened to me is that I received an offer from Mercy University, right there in Macon, or University. Mm-hmm. I think it's Mercy University. Yep. Down there in Macon, Georgia. I ended up going through a little bit of some injuries, some light injuries. Spraining ankles really bad, but both at the same time. Dang. Went to a camp there and just didn't perform well. I was fresh on some bum ankles. Between there and some other schools that were showing interest, but I really just didn't have the senior season that I was hoping to have because of injury. Gotcha. And like I said, I was blessed not to have torn anything, but then at the same time, I was still kind of handicapped by just having a lingering injury. And fortunate enough for me, I stayed in touch with our head coach, who was our offensive coordinator at the time, for my junior year. Yep. And I mean, I valued my education. My mom wouldn't have it any other way. She's a teacher herself. Yeah. So we went on a visit. The coaches were already talking what I needed to hear anyway. Went on a visit, loved it. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, well, we're not going to waste anybody else's money. You're not going on any other official visits. You know what you want here. So this is going to be it. If you're ready to commit, this is what it is. So I would say it's really through a series of not unfortunate events, but just ironic events that led me there. And honestly, I couldn't be happier to be from there.
Yeah, I believe it, man. Like I tell a lot of people, when you got that Citadel degree and that thing stamped on there, it holds a lot of weight when you walking into some doors and you're applying online. So I
you say when let that thing is stamped.
Yeah, when it's stamped. I have a cousin. He's more like an uncle. He went to the Citadel, played football. It was a while ago though. He's probably like late 40s right now. But he was telling me just like, man, listen, I played ball for the Citadel, but after that, that degree held weight because obviously it's a military-based school that it shows that you have the, discipline. It shows that you're timely, because they teach you these, I guess, while you're there. And I was talking to Rod and he was saying like, if you play sports, it was a little bit more lenient, but you still get that military kind of background while you're there. Is that kind of your same story?
I would say that is. And just to address a misconception out there, it's not that the Citadel, it's not that University of Alabama or Clemson or any of these universities, you just go there, you show up, get your degree, and then the world is yours. It's not that. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah.
You still have to give and take. Mm-hmm. There are some things that you have to put in, whether it be the earning of respect from your peers or superiors, people older than you, whether it be staff and faculty, just certain lessons and investments you have to make into yourself and to these relationships early on.
Yeah.
And throughout the time that you're there, that's what opens the doors after the fact, because then it's not like you're going into these places with your hand out everywhere you go and expecting something, but you knew what it took to get the respect that you have even leaving there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, appreciate that addressing that, because I definitely, for me personally, I don't know. It was always told to me like, it's a prestigious. Obviously, it's a prestigious school, but you still, like you said, you got to work and build those relationships. Nothing's really handed to you, and I'm pretty sure just being black, nothing's gonna be handed to you. You know what I'm saying? So you still gotta go above and beyond of what is asked of you. And so, what was in the Citadel? Obviously, you got your accounting degree. What was the transition like? So I'm trying to give people an idea, if they want to go into accounting, what are the courses, super rigorous? What are some of the key things that you need to really be good at to understand accounting? Because they don't know, maybe somebody doesn't know, like I know I'm good here, but does this correlate with accounting? Or like, I'm all right here, does it correlate with accounting? So like, what is it for you that you see that, while you were in school that makes you think like, okay, accounting is for me because I can do this?
I would say you have to be comfortable with numbers, regardless of their size. And that doesn't mean having to be the best in your class at math. I was never that. I was always comfortable with very, very simple math. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, some advanced techniques, yeah, sure. But then beyond that, it would just take some organizational skills and interest in being organized, because that's all accounting really is being so much organized in your numbers so that where things are going. Mm-hmm. But then also you have to have that understanding of numbers to be able to interpret it. And that's the difference between an accountant and a bookkeeper.
Okay.
Is being able to read the numbers to say what it means.
Got it. So you guys are kind of heavy in the analytics, being able to, read the numbers, dissect those numbers, and then be able to tell a story behind the numbers.
You have to be able to make it make sense to these people that are, whether it be the CEOs or business owners, because they're giving you the keys to organize it all. But then they also want to know. The story behind it. Well, how did it get like this? When did this start? Yeah. Tell me exactly what's going on here. What trends am I seeing? And really, I mean, it's not that that's not interesting to me, but I just always kind of felt like there was a little bit more for myself than interpreting numbers.
Got it. And so when you go from, you graduate from the Citadel, you played ball, had a great time, I'm sure, made a lot of friends. I don't know if you know the twin Cordan and
Cayman?
Yeah. So those are my cousins.
Oh, okay.
Those
That's what I'm saying. You're from South Carolina?
Yeah, so I'm from South Carolina.
Everybody from South Carolina know everybody cousin. I don't know which ones of y'all is lying, but I'm hip.
He said, I don't know which one of y'all. All y'all cousins. Man, where you from, man?
Man, so I grew up just outside of Atlanta.
Okay.
I was born in Decatur. Moved around a little bit as a kid, but I grew up in Paulding County, Georgia.
Okay.
Just northwest, a little bit west of Cobb County, where the Braves play is the landmark now.
Got you. Man, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of cousins you don't know about either, but they are legitimately my cousins. But I know them. I'm not sure if you know Josh Massey. He played
Yep.
Josh Massey. We played
Listen, a lot of love for Josh. Josh helped me get through the Dell when I was too busy sleeping in class.
Hey, listen, me and Josh played high school football together, so we went to the same high school.
No kidding.
Yeah, for real. And I'm like a year older than him though, but he,
Okay.
he was my dog, man. We call him Chopper on the field, so like he a headhunter. But sorry that
Yeah.
with the injuries and stuff, he had to take that step back. But he's doing great now. I follow him on social media.
Listen, I relied a lot on Josh to get through. Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
He used to come by and give me, I forget what the term was, but basically he was dropping wisdom on me early on.
Yeah, dropping that game. I like it. But like I said, we had a great time at the Citadel. A lot of connections there. What was, once you graduated, what was that, was there a time period off before securing a job? Did you come out of the Citadel with a job offer already? What was that transition for you like?
Yeah, so I accepted my job with the company I was working for, which is SRS Distribution. Mm-hmm. It was either late December or early January. So I did have a signed contract before graduation.
That's awesome. So what was the interview process like? Obviously, it's not the same interview process as for what you do currently. So I want to talk more about that interview process, right? So what is the, what type of questions do they ask? What do they want you to know? What can you bring to the table? What do they like to hear? You know what I'm saying? If somebody's interviewing right now, what's the best way you can help? What advice can you give them to prepare going into it?
Well, to answer the question simply is to prepare. Honestly, like before going into an interview, don't just go and sit down and say, "Oh, I'm ready to go." Whatever y'all got, I'll just pull it. I'm ready. I kind of went in with some general knowledge of the interview process. Luckily, a former teammate of mine worked there. And then the woman that works in the HR department there in recruiting was a close friend who ran the career center. So I kind of went in with some stories already prepared from my life that were true. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have to stretch any aspects of them. Basically just to keep me organized so I don't go on any tangents or anything like that. Yeah. And really just tried to highlight my passion for working and what I wanted to accomplish, what my strengths were, and always had to have some weaknesses also, things that maybe not, like, you don't want to go in there just lay it all out like I'm a horrible employee and you're going to have to babysit me or anything like that. Yeah. But like, for example, like my weaknesses were or are sometimes I can pay a little bit too much attention to detail. I might spend a little bit too much time on one task trying to be perfect, which is true. Yeah. It's definitely not a lie. But that's one of those like softer weaknesses that can sell yourself as like, no, I'm just diligent in my work, which is true. I might get sidetracked, but to say it that way sounds better. It does. So I would say, yeah, just preparing strengths, weaknesses, but then also some key stories that can help sell your own story without spending 30, 40 minutes of somebody's time. That's what's up. Or maybe longer than that. Because I think the interview is probably like that.
Yeah, I like that. So, I mean, those weaknesses definitely sound like strengths. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not bad, like you said, but it's like one of those things where I'm diligent about my work, but it can possibly hinder me as being a perfectionist, right? At times. But those are really good. If I ever have an interview, I'm going to use those. Appreciate that. That's putting me on game right there. That's what
game.
That's what it's all about. Big boss talk. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Free game. Yep. So that's cool, man. So the interview process just showing people, be prepared. Have those stories in mind. Obviously, if they're true, they're true. I've talked to so many people where they said, look, I made up these stories, but I got a problem, what I implemented, and then the results, right? Short, sweet, straight to the point, especially when it comes down to like those STAR questions that a lot of people give. I don't know if I don't know if they still do
The
star testing.
star. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like
The
the
situation, the
situation.
task, the action, and the result.
Right, right. I don't know if they still doing that. How? Let me ask you this. So, being that you're new into this profession, less than a year, how challenging is it? Being an advisor so young, right? When you go to you talking to these big corporate guys, CEOs, owners, and you're having to advise them financially. How challenging is that? Do you get discouraged? Is it kind of easy? Like, I don't really worry about it. Like, what's your mindset when you're talking to people?
I would say it definitely gets challenging at times because in the financial world, sure, more often than not, there's a simple solution, but it's easy to look at the scope of everything that we can do and help with and really basically stare up at the mountain and not do anything at all. So I would say what helps me with that is one, having a foundation. The Dave Ramsey book has helped establish that and what my beliefs are personally as to what I would do.
Right.
But then a big point that I love about my firm that I work for and Equitable Advisors is that the team that I'm a part of, really joint work is encouraged. And that's all across our organization from coast to coast and around everywhere we are. Yeah. We don't have to be the single smartest person in the room. We just have to be smart enough to bring someone else in that knows what we don't.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I would say it's definitely challenging at times, but you just have to be humble enough to bring in someone that knows more than you or knows an area that you don't specifically cover, or just humble enough to tell a client that I don't know the answer right off the top of my head. I don't want to lie to you, but I'll find the answer for you and get back to you. And that's a lot of times what I'll do if there's not someone that's on a call or on a meeting with me.
Got you. That's the best way to do it, man. Like when I jumped into this role that I'm in now with my company, I talk to a lot of people financially. I talk to a lot of CEOs because I work with small businesses and being able to provide them telecommunications, security, cybersecurity solutions, and just a lot of different plethora of things. But, for me, I was more, I guess it was more of a, insecurity on myself. I felt like obviously I know what I'm talking about. I've done the work. I can do it. But it was just for me. I don't know. Sometimes I felt a little uncomfortable talking to people that may not understand me, may not look at me as capable to give them the proper solution. But I was always told that if you don't know an answer, just say you don't know an answer and we'll figure it out. And that's the worst thing they can say is like, okay, cool, just get back with me, versus trying to shoot the breeze, lie to them, and then you tell them some false information. And now you got to cover your butt, CYA, again, just based off the lie, the false information that you were given. So I do recommend, like what you said, if just not for people listening, if you don't know an answer, just say you don't know an answer and just, figure it out. Do you have a mentorship within your company? Is there somebody that's been there for a while and you can just say, hey, I need help, bro? Can you help me out? Not understanding.
There are thousands of advisors in our company across the nation. And I would say I have access to any of them at any point in time.
Okay.
I would say 2 executives in the company I just met tonight for the first time. They're like, stay in touch. Like, I'll help you, whatever the case may be. But first one that comes to mind is my manager, Ben. I actually met him, and the way I even got this job was sending him a random LinkedIn message.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a little bit interested in what it is that you do. I'd love to sit down sometime and talk if you have a minute to learn a little bit more about what you do. That message, it wasn't worded exactly like that, but very similar. Started with one conversation to the next, to the next, to the next. Next thing I know, he was sitting me down with his branch manager to interview for the job. And I told him, based on our interaction before he even knew me from just being another person on LinkedIn, I was like, man, you believed in me, and I'll move cities to join your team. And that's who I work for now.
That's crazy, man. Listen, shoot your shot, everybody. Shoot it. Hey, you gotta
look. If the only shot you're shooting is in Dayton, you're missing. You're missing a lot. You're missing.
I like that. So, where are you located now? Did they ask you to go somewhere kind of far, like out west, or?
Yeah. So the guy that I reached out to was based out of Charlotte.
Okay.
And at the time when I reached out to him, I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it was only a 2.5 hour move for me. But at the time, I mean, thinking back when it was a pretty big move, with all the things that I had to get done to make that happen, but wouldn't take a single thing back. It was awesome.
So what you
And
like?
it's been
What you like better, Charlotte or Raleigh?
Charlotte.
Okay.
It's a bigger city. I didn't even know anything about Raleigh, honestly. I thought it was going to be a little town, maybe some dust bunnies blowing by. I'm not that bad, but like I'm a numbers guy. I'll tell anyone to date I'm geographically challenged. I love to travel, but man, I couldn't tell you where any of these places are.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, look, if I'll move anywhere, just give me 2 days to go see it, and I'll tell you if I like it enough to live there. So sure enough, my company moved me, or I went to interview for that job, got the job, and then found out the very next Wednesday I got the job and had to move in by Saturday. So then fast forwarded like 12, 13 months, reached out to Ben, and the rest is history now. So
that's wild, man. Hey, I'm glad you was able to make that jump. Are there any tips within advising that you use personally, right? So you're advising people, you're advising people, I'm pretty sure financially. Is there any tips that you've learned along the way that you use personally for yourself when regards to money? Because our people, we kind of love to, we love to spend money. Sometimes we're not as financially literate as everyone else. Not saying we don't have people that know about money or know what to do with money, but let's just, the majority, just speaking to the majority, if we're trying to, save money, we're trying to be financially stable. Do you have about any tips that you would teach or tell anybody that could help them with any type of, monetary goal?
I would say my tip, and this applies to me first, all those things that you ever wanted as a kid, growing up, you can get all of that and more if you're just willing to wait and do it the right way. I would say really value ownership over reputation and status early on. Save to pay cash if you can. Especially, I mean, not even if you can, save to pay cash, period. All those luxury things that you think is going to just boost your status. There's not really a reason to hurt yourself in the long game just to satisfy some short-term needs or short-term status quos of other people your age.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, just focusing on keeping those expenses low, especially while being young enough where it's cool to have a roommate.
Yeah.
That's not talked about enough. While it's cool to have a roommate, is the perfect time to really, really take your financial situation seriously, because you'll never have a time until you're married. And then even then, your expenses probably will be higher than what they are. So,
bro, double down. I wish to this day I could still live. Man, we was in South Carolina, so I went to North Green University. So we played y'all in football, and we also played Mercer after I left, though. But I went there, and I had a 3-bedroom apartment split 3 ways. Obviously, we in South Carolina, so the rent at the time I want to say is maybe $1,200.
I already know where this is going, and I'm guilty too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like $1,200, and we splitting it 3 ways, busting it down. I'm saying we spending maybe $350 on rent. All at the time I had to worry about was a car payment and a cell phone, and then obviously grocery if I wanted to eat. But at that time, I'm like, I'm eating little $5 meals, microwavable. I'm not Chef Boyardee or nothing, but my expenses are extremely low. And I was just
listen. Honestly, I might be worse than you. My first months, really my first year and a half out of school, I had 2 roommates down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It costed me, I'll never forget, $650 a month to live for rent, utilities, everything. So the only thing that wasn't included was insurance, phone bill, groceries, etc.
Yeah.
I was making over 50 and under 60. And when I tell you, looking back, the only thing I had really to show for it was I got a car right before I left. That was it was well within my means.
Yeah.
But I could have definitely bought that way early on.
Yeah.
But like the amount of savings I had was a joke with making that kind of money and those kind of expenses. But I was really focused on buying everything I've never had and things I always wanted.
Yeah.
And truthfully, it's like, that's fine to want those things, but those things don't add value to your life. They don't make you any more of a man or a person.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be there.
Always. Bro, like, I wish, and sometimes you just got to go thugh that to understand. You know what
You do.
You got to go through those
100%.
phases of just like, I want stuff that I never had. Like, I'm buying all the shoes, the clothes. I'm going here, going out. I'm having a good time. I'm living my life the way I feel like it's supposed to be. But like you said, that's short-term satisfaction. What about the long-term gain? So obviously with you, I'm just like you. If I would have, what do I have to show for that time period when I had 3 roommates and didn't have, too much, nothing to my name? Like, I can't even tell you where the money went. I remember my grandma did my taxes one year and she said, "You made a lot of money this year." I'm like, "Where is that?" Because I have.
Where?
Where?
For me, I was going to the closest bar and restaurant to go find my money because I knew exactly where it was. I knew exactly where it was. So,
yeah, man, for sure, man. So listen, free game for everybody listening. It's okay, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't, have fun, do certain things, but it's kind of like overeating. You do things in monetary, do in moderation. So, you want to spend, you want to get the nice things, do it in moderation, but understand that there's life after this time period where you're, got your roommates and all that. So think about the future a little bit. I know it's hard to really think about that now. And you probably just like, man, what are these guys talking about? But to be honest, you guys hit me back in 5 to 6 years. Let me know how y'all doing. If y'all should have saved or shouldn't have saved, just let me know in the comments. But I'm telling you, if you save while because I got another friend, she's staying with her aunt and uncle and doing, just savings wise is doing great. And it's a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's a great feeling to understand that, she's at the top of her game, doing what she needs to do and focusing on the future, which, sometimes I regret for me, but I think I'm okay. I had to go through certain situations to realize, like you said, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't boost your status. The reasons that you're getting these things, people not even thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they look at you, they not thinking about, oh, he just bought that Gucci. He just bought the shirt, the clothes. Like, they don't care about that, man. But
it's so easy when you don't have it to think that's what they're thinking.
Exactly.
And then when you get it, you're like, where's all this clout I was supposed to have? And then you look around and it's the same person in a new fit. It's so empty. And I don't say that as somebody that's overcame it 100%.
Yeah.
I like nice things and I enjoy the things that I can afford to buy. But you just got to keep that foundation and keep that conscience, and you're really just stay deep in your roots, because everything they said growing up is true. That new shirt, the new watch, the new belt, that's not going to make you more likable in the long run. It's not going to make you more of a man or woman. It's not going to give you the status you think it does in the long game, if that's what you're playing it for.
Facts. Well, man, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for those gems. We love being able just to dive into what you do on a daily basis. What I do before we leave, I do want to ask one last question. As far as, let's just say, because everything sounds good, right? Being an attorney, did you want to, be an advisor? Was it all based on money, right? Obviously, I feel like I know this answer just because of how you came upon accounting and getting into your field. But was it all about money for you? Like, I'm gonna pick this profession because I know I can make some good money here. Or was it just the natural ability of saying, like, I really like working with numbers, and I think I can create a passion behind it? Was that the case at all?
I'll say it was neither of those that brought me to advising.
Okay.
One, it's always in the back of my mind. I knew I enjoy quality of life. As I said, I'm a spender.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to find something that was lucrative, that could support my financial needs and wants. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, I'm attached to 6 figures. I'm not selling out to go make $100,000 a year. Yeah. I'm not doing that. But so I would say I was aware of the income. And then once I finally got licensed here and got my licenses, it blew my mind what money I thought I would be able to make.
Gotcha.
It's uncapped. Whatever you're willing to work for, you can earn in this business. But that wasn't what was in my mind. So going back a little bit, my mom is in education, been a teacher, loves children, mentorship, really just the educational piece. And my dad also has always taught me about education, knowledge, power. So I knew I wanted to be a teacher of some form, whether it be a coach, consultant, something like that, be able to help people. I didn't know exactly what that meant. So when I found out that that's what advisors did was teaching financial literacy and investment strategies, and just really holistic financial planning, I had to learn more about it. And that's what brought me to my mentor, Ben, that I work under now, is that he took that same approach to me. So I knew that he was also replicating that in his practice and led me to start my own.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And if you could, something that you may not like about advising, right? Because I don't never want to blow smoke to people and let them know like, hey, it's easy. You're going to come in and you can make X amount of money. You can do this. But, you know, obviously the opportunity is there for the person that's willing to work for it. But what are some things that they need to, you know, obviously something that you may, if you could say, hey, I wish this was thrown out, or something that you don't like doing, you know, at your job, what would that one thing be?
I would say, and I'm going to tread lightly, prospecting.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship because it's essential in our business. I have to be talking to people at a high volume to get the returns that we need, because not everybody that I talk to is going to be a client, right, or is going to have a need. So I'm always talking to people, but at the same time, I'm always talking to people. Yeah. So there might be a day where I feel like I accomplished the world starting with a workout in the morning, but it might be a little cloudy that afternoon and I don't feel like making my phone. I was saying that prospecting, it's a love-hate relationship. We have to talk to a lot of people just because not everybody you talk to is going to be a client, and that's okay. But there's plenty of days where I don't feel like talking to people despite how much I am a people person. But I would say facing yourself in the mirror. Yeah. That's definitely a big challenge in and of itself with prospecting.
That's what's up, man. I think that's one of the things, you know, a heads up to people, right? Prospecting. If you're not willing to put the time in, pick the phone up, put the hours in of just being able to talk to people, like, you know, listen to this, because don't say you want to jump into this, but then you get into it and you're not willing to make the calls. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I do prospecting as well. I'm just like you. It's not even a love-hate relationship. It's very much hate relationship. Just because like you said, I'm a people person too. And then it's some days I'm like, bro, I really don't even feel like picking up this phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get those days where it's just like, I'm gonna do bare minimum today, and it sucks because I don't want to do bare minimum. It's not like I wake up and say I'm gonna do bare minimum today. It's just really draining when you think about it, just to dial, pick up, you know. And then you also, if you're not good at rejection, you know, you got to be able to have tough skin, or just, and I'm not sure
you gotta have it.
Yeah, you gotta have it. You gotta have tough skin, and so, but the rewards, I will say, are worth each and every rejection. When you obtain the goals that you're trying to get, as far as whether you're working on commission or whatever the case may be, when you get that check, it makes the no's or the rejection worth it, because you put the time in. But once you understand it's just a numbers game,
absolutely,
10% of the people that you talk to will say yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know averages, you know, your averages when you're talking to people. So if you got that perspective and you can just wake up and say, well, I know majority of the day I'm gonna hear no, then you can get through it. And I think I would say sports prepared me for that. I believe it possibly prepared you for that. Just the dynamic of sports and being a part of a team and working for what you want, working for the position, understanding that you'll have some off days, and just being able to overcome those. I think those are very important. And so, attorney, man, it's been great, man. talking to you. I think, I learned a lot about financial advising, just a few things that I didn't know. I think, if I come across anybody that wants to be a financial advisor, hopefully, if you're open to, them messaging you on LinkedIn or something like that, to just say, hey, same way you did Ben, I just kind of want to know more about what you do. And if that's possible to all the listeners, watchers, just understand that, attorney is here. I'll put his LinkedIn and Instagram in the description. That way, if you have any questions or need anything, you can reach out to attorney. But last thing we're gonna do, man, is I got 6 questions for you. Answer them in 5 seconds. All right. It's a little game we like to play at the end of the show, end of the podcast. After that, you good to go. But after the game, I will ask for a recommendation. All right, that's what we do.
Gotcha.
Just give me a recommendation of somebody I should sit down with next. If you can give me like their Instagram or telephone number, you let them know like, hey, I just sat down with this guy, got a dope podcast. I recommended you. He'll be reaching out to you. And if you could do that for me, that'd be great. But you ready?
All 6 in 5 seconds or
No,
5 seconds?
No. 5 seconds each.
All right, I got you.
5 seconds each. It's not that hard, I don't think. All right, here we go. What's the quality people enjoy about you?
Probably my humor. Okay. I say that.
Humor, got you. So you a jokester or?
I would say I just have my personality's kind of fun. I'm kind of unpredictable in my humor. You never know what I might say, but it's gonna be what comes to mind. My humor and wit.
Got you. Okay. 25 hours in a day, not 24 now. So it's 25 hours in a day. How do you spend the extra hour?
Ooh. Man, that's probably gonna be some me time.
Ooh, me time. I like it.
That's gonna be some me time.
I like it. A little
hour in a day. That's a good question. Dang, I wish I had prep for that one.
Get a little R&R. Okay, what's more memorable, movies or music?
Wow. Dang. Hey man, that's tough. I'm gonna naturally go with music.
Okay.
Mind you, I'm a music and movie person to the core. Music takes me back really, really young. There's some music I didn't even know, but I was listening to it in the womb of my mom that I heard out. I came out singing Sade.
Oh. He said I came out the womb singing Sade. Hey, that's cool, man. I talked to a dude today. He told me, he said movies. And I was like, man, I'm a movie guy too. Like for me, movies are, even though music, I'll never, music is the language that connects all human beings.
Hey, man.
But movies, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can watch a movie and it's going to give me nostalgia as far as like where I was at, what I was doing, how old I was. I can hear a line in a movie and be like, oh, that's that movie. Or I can hear a song and I can match the song to a movie I've seen. So like for me, it's movies. But music, I do understand, is the language amongst all people. No matter what race, color, ethnicity, religion, music is, because
I got my stick. I'm gonna keep my answer. I ain't gonna change.
You ain't gonna change? All right.
No.
All right, cool. So here we go. If you could time travel, what period would you go back to?
I'd say probably either early college or maybe before then, prior to my dad passing away.
Gotcha.
And I don't mind talking about it. Really, I just feel like I wasn't old enough. Not that there's an age, but like just really wishing that I was man enough to have some conversations and just ask things and just shoot off the cuff. Whether it be young when we was playing in parks or maybe late high school, early college, right before he passed. So. And I wouldn't even think of it really as being a regret, but just more so something I wish I could go back and do.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I don't know why that is. Like I feel the same way. Not to your extent, right? My pops ain't passed, but I still, when I hear stuff like that, it's like, all right, you still got time. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got time to be able to, ask those questions, just shoot the breeze, and just kind of really build that strong solid relationship that you always wanted. But I commend you on that and going back in that time period. I think that'll be a great time for you. I think you'll have a blast. Be able to do some things that you always wanted to do. So next we have favorite TV show to binge watch.
Binge watch, man.
You probably don't even watch TV.
Hey, man, I have a life now.
I mean, it just seemed like, my man was at happy hour. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be out in these streets.
Favorite show favorite show to binge watch. I'm probably gonna have to go with like Breaking Bad. It would have been Game of Thrones. We were just talking about this, but the last season did me so dirty. I feel bad even bringing it up. But yeah, probably Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. I got a couple up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. But I'm more of a movie guy than a show guy.
Okay, what's your favorite movie? That's probably hard. So top 3.
It's very hard.
I can't give you a favorite.
In no order. Dark Knight, American Gangster, or really Dark Knight trilogy. All of those. And then the third one being Law Abiding Citizen.
Law Abiding Citizen is crazy. I love that movie.
Those three in no order. But I really do like the Dark Knight series as a whole. People are asleep on Batman Begins.
But what's your favorite though? Like I like Dark Knight Rises, like with Bane. Like it was some cold lines.
As much as I want to like that movie with Bane, he did a great job. Man, Heath Ledger made himself go crazy to get the role that he had as the Joker. I gotta respect that.
What you mean he made himself go crazy?
He really went crazy. I'm pretty sure he treated himself as like a solitary confinement type. Like he wasn't talking to anyone, or when he did, he was in character for like months leading up to the movie.
Man, you know how hard it is to probably come out of that though. Like
that's what I'm saying. So there's some people that think that movie actually led him to commit suicide. I can't speak on that, but I'm just like, I respect the hustle because that movie, like he was insane. Like that was a really good movie. The acting was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Okay. All right, man. Last question. So we got, when you leave Earth, what will people say about you? What do you think people will say about you, bro?
Man, honestly, I don't know, but I hope that they've always felt my passion and love for who it is I'm around and the things it is that I do and choose to do. I want to leave Earth with an impact on people for the better than when I met them.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I appreciate it, man. It's been awesome. Who's your recommendation and what do they do?
Oh, you ready for it right now?
Oh, yeah. You got to think about it?
Yeah. I don't have one just off the top.
It's all good, man.
I've got a couple that I'm probably going to send you.
Yeah.
I want to reach out to one of them first before I do. But I think I got some heavy hitters to send your way.
Yeah, for sure, man. I will stay in touch. Just let me know who the heavy hitters are, man. Like I said, it was great to meet you. Hopefully now, you know what I'm saying, if you ever need anything, if I can do anything, Big Boss Talk can do anything, I would love to just be able to collaborate with you. Would love to get you back on maybe 4 to 5 years from now to see how you developed and the things that you've learned within your career and things of that nature. But man, it's been awesome. I'm gonna let you get back the rest of your night, man. And other than that, be easy.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, man. Take care.
Me.